excited to catch up with Denise and Janet from Emmy Action's UK and Scotland teams. What most people don't realise is that it's a small team of volunteers that keeps Emmy Action going. They've both been working incredibly hard preparing for this year's Millions Missing. Can you first explain to me the main aim and message of this year's Millions Missing event?
This year we want to let people with Emmy know that they are not alone. There are lots of people who are really engaged with Emmy and reaching out to help. So we were astonished when we reached out to researchers, authors, MPs. Almost everybody we asked wanted to do an interview and support people with ME, which is fantastic. So the theme is You're Not Alone, and also millions more to reflect the fact that after COVID, we may have more people with ME. So what we have done, we've got a fantastic range of interviews from Ron Davis and Janet Defoe. On the research side, we have MPs, we have Marcus Sedgwick as well as an author, we have Stuart Murdoch giving a message. So it's going to be a fantastic day of interviews. They are all going to be recorded, so if you miss any, go to the Emmy Action UK website and you'll find a link and you'll be able to watch them at your own pace.
I mean, that all sounds fantastic. I mean, what have you asked people to do this Millions Missing?
We are asking them to do several things. We're asking them to watch the videos. We are asking them we have asked people to decorate their windows and reflect the themes of Millions Missing, what they're missing out on life, and send us their pictures. So look out on social media for some fantastic photos of people's windows.
Yeah, we've also been running a campaign that some of you may have seen to ask people to write to their local newspaper. It's called Letters to Editor campaign, and there's more details on the website. And the idea is to try and increase the amount of coverage that people are getting in their papers by making local papers aware of local people with ME. And if you get a chance, watch local events. We've been running an event all day today, but watch your local events like Leeds. Make the most of that.
And how have you found kind of organising events virtually? Obviously everything's online at the moment. Has that changed the way that you've had to do things?
Yeah, I mean, it's very challenging organising an online event, but it's equally challenging, I would say, and I'm sure Denise would agree with this, and you, Charlie, as well, organising something in person. So with a virtual event, it feels, to me anyway, like it's a huge responsibility because we're organising a more national event in Scotland and for the UK. We've been organising that, so we feel a bigger sense of responsibility. Obviously, working with other people is great online because you can organise everything online. I guess the margin for error is slightly less because if something goes wrong on the day, it goes, but it's everywhere. You can see the mistakes everywhere. And of course, one of the things about doing Millions Missing in person is you get to meet people. You get that real sense of community, and you get to meet the volunteers and people you've been in communication with over the year. So I've kind of missed that last year, and this year is not meeting all the people I work with locally up in Scotland here. So yeah, definitely a challenge, and here's hoping that everybody's enjoying the day.
I'm sure it's going to be a really, really successful day. But obviously, it's not just Millions Missing when Emmy Action is busy. You've been busy all year. What have you guys been up to recently?
Well, at the very end of last year, we were incredibly busy going over the new NICE draft guideline. I mean, we went over it line by line, word by word. So that was very challenging, but I think very worthwhile, and fingers crossed for the updated guidelines in August. We have also been keeping watch on mentions of ME and long COVID in the press, and reaching out to any journalist across the country who has mentioned either, giving them more facts, inviting them to get in touch with us and learn more about ME. So that's something you may not necessarily see until an article comes out, but that has kept us busy as well. A lot of our volunteers are also involved in other things like the Decode ME and the JLA Priority Setting Partnership. And We have also been lobbying MPs, and Matt Hancock in particular. We were trying to get ME listed as a priority for vaccination. So we and people in our local groups have been lobbying their MPs and working really hard on that.
In Scotland, we have particular challenges. We're really running a parliamentary campaign for the Scottish Government, which has devolved powers for health. So there's recently been a Scottish election where we had people write to their MSPs and ask them to make them aware of ME and tell them things that they could do. We've been very much involved with NICE as well, which affects Scotland, and pushing for people in Scotland to be given the COVID vaccination along with the rest of the UK. We also work on projects, like at the moment we're working on a project with Action for ME to disseminate Nina Muirhead's training module in Scotland, which has got funding from the Scottish Government. And that's interesting to try and get some healthcare education out there. So although we work very closely, ME Action Scotland works very closely with the UK, we also have some separate projects that are ongoing which keep us busy.
I mean, it sounds like you are constantly busy and quite rushed off your feet. But that must mean that you're always asking for new volunteers and you want more people to get involved. What would you say to people who are debating getting involved, and how can they get in touch?
They can get in touch through the ME Action UK website, or they can send an email to uk@meaction.net. And we delight to see people with a range of skills. You don't have to volunteer full time. If you want to just sign up and send a tweet one day, or you're a whiz at Facebook, or you're very good at graphics, but you could only spend a few hours, that is very valuable to us. So we'd love to see you. And you can do what you want, and you can develop your skills as well. I think Janet and I have learned a lot about things like Hootsuite, social media, how to interview, not as well as Charlie, how to press the wrong buttons on videos, but it's challenging, and it's also fun, and it's great to see your efforts have an effect.
And there's a lot of support in the volunteer group as well, so that you're, as Denise said earlier, the aim of Millions Missing is the message is you're not alone. But I think the same goes for the volunteer group. You never feel that you're alone when you're doing something. There's people to help you and back you up all the time.
No, definitely. I know from joining in the past kind of 2 years, you meet so many other people who have the same aims as you, but also understand what you're going through. And it's probably the only place where you think you feel that you can say, actually, I need to take 5, or I need to take 5 weeks. And it's really not a problem at all. But thank you both so much for speaking to me today, and for all of your hard work. And thank you to the whole ME Action team as well. Millions Missing is a huge international calendar event, and it means so much to everybody. So thank you ever so much, and enjoy the big day.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you.